Fourth National Executive Meeting here in Bangalore. It's my city, so I welcome you personally to Bangalore as well. The agenda for today is reasonably clear. It focuses around our dominant concern, which is that of the Indian economy and its future. Moving to part B, which is the current state of the Indian economy. The background, as you know, is that the last two business confidence surveys that FICCI has conducted the last 2 quarters, both are showing a sharply declining confidence level by investors in business. The FICCI official position has been consistent from day one when this issue first came up. We have urged the government and the Reserve Bank not to use monetary policy as a hammer or as an arm, knee-jerk mechanism to address this supply-constrained inflation. We have repeatedly made that point in every forum, and unfortunately they have used monetary policy as a tool to try and curb inflation, and the consequent effect is that we can see the last 2 sets of IIP numbers are showing a clear sign of slowdown in manufacturing, and that read along with the business confidence survey is clearly pointing to people scaling back on investments, slowing down on investments, slowing down on expansion, which read along with the fact that it is actually a supply-constrained inflation has the potential of really creating a much bigger problem going forward. FICCI should say that economic policy should focus on growth as its primary objective and work an equation to address growth rather than get inflation-focused or inflation-obsessed. There are 2 broad schools of thought today. One is that what is happening today in our economy is a temporary phenomenon, and the so-called structural changes to the economy in the last 5 to 6 years will allow this economy to sort of handle this short-term blip on the radar. And the second is a slightly contrarian school, that there haven't been that many structural reforms to shield this economy from this global contagion. And this could potentially be signs of what we are seeing, could be potential signs of a somewhat longer-term slowdown, akin to what we saw in the late 90s. Apart from this broad direction on the economy, I think the other questions on top of everybody's minds is how long will this slowdown last, if this is a slowdown? And importantly, what should a government of today or the government of tomorrow, do to ensure we don't slide any further and get back on that growth path? And lastly, a question that is, at least personally, to me, has been a mystery of sorts. What has happened to our economy in the last few years that has taken it from a theoretically decoupled economy, immune to the shocks around us, and we've seen this in the 90s. We were reasonably impervious and immune to the shocks around us, to an economy that has become one of the most volatile in the region. You see our markets swing wider and faster than any other market in the region. So has this economy become, essentially, to use an economist or a financial term, a high beta volatile economy? So these are the broad questions I would think could frame the discussion today.